Oh, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Shunting Showdown. One morning, Thomas was shunting trucks in the yard when Diesel arrived.
Guess I'm not sure about doing the
Oh, look, it's that
shunting
little
challenges
engine getting in the way.
category, just due to the
You
frustrations
really
with the
need to
map
learn
bugs
how
and
to
stuff.
shunt trucks
This may
properly,
be my
Thomas.
last
And I doubt you are as good at
kick off
shunting
the
as Bill,
checklist
the best
for
shunter
Wonders of
on
Sodor.
Sodor. Not
Since the
only am
original
I
runs
as
I did
good as
about a
you,
month
but
ago,
Thomas, I'm better.
the express percent got optimized a lot.
No, you're not.
I've then gone through all of these
Yes, I am.
missions to try and optimize them. Found some new
Not
tricks actually that I'll mention
am.
later on when they come up.
Just then, Emily arrived with
Why
some
I think
trucks
they work.
and overheard the two engines arguing.
Moved Shunting
What's
Showdown from
going
last to
on
first
here?
because the missions actually just loop, so
Diesel was being rude.
you don't lose
He
any
was
time from
claiming
doing
he
this
was the
first
best
because you just
shunter on Sodor,
move on to the first
said Thomas.
mission in the regular sort of
But
order.
I am the best shunter, interrupted Diesel. Tell you what, if
You still
want
do
to
all
see
of
who's
the
truly the best,
same missions,
perhaps
but
we
this
could
one has
have
the
a
highest
competition
likelihood of
to
causing
see
me to
which
reset,
engine is
so
the better shunter. That
hopefully I
sounds
get it
like a
first
great
try.
idea. What do you think,
This is the
Thomas?
first attempt with the new
Okay,
routing,
Diesel,
but
said
who
Thomas.
knows?
What are the rules? The first engine to get their line of trucks shunted into the correct order will be the winner. Sounds good to me. Let's get started.
Right,
Is
let's go.
everyone ready to begin? 3,
It's on the right window,
2,
and
1, go!
super steady. Nice.
And the winner is Thomas. Congratulations. Hooray, we did it. See, Diesel, steam engines are the best at shunting. How did you beat me? Well done, Thomas. I suppose you won this time. Next time, you won't be so lucky.
Not only was that a clean run for this, that's my new PB for
Thomas
that
and
level.
Gordon. Thomas is a tank engine who lives at the big station on the island of Sodor.
My individual level PB at the moment,
He has
that's
6
not been
small
uploaded
wheels,
but
a short stumpy
recorded,
funnel,
is
a short stumpy boiler,
526.4.
and a short
That was a
stumpy gun.
522 with the loading screen, which we don't count for individual levels.
He is a fussy little engine too, always pulling coaches about, getting them ready for the big engines to take on long journeys. And when trains arrive at the station, he pulls the empty coaches away so that the big engines can go and rest. Thomas thinks no engine works as hard as he does. He loves playing tricks on them, especially Gordon, the biggest and proudest engine of all. Thomas likes whistling cheekily at him.
PB for this level, 1223.
Wake up,
So I'd
lazy
be
bones.
looking at roughly
Why don't you
about,
work hard
what,
like me?
15 minutes? Sub 18 for the end of this split. That'd be really good.
One morning, Thomas found it hard to wake up. His fire went out and there wasn't enough steam. It was nearly time for the express, but the coaches weren't ready. At last, Thomas started. He fussed into the station where Gordon was waiting. Hurry up, you, said Gordon, and bring me my coaches. Hurry yourself, replied Thomas. Yes, said Gordon, I will.
Slight auto scroller waiting for Gordon. I played it safe because sometimes the points don't swap, so I went a bit further back. You can risk that a fair bit more. do the same here. You can brake slightly earlier, but don't particularly want to risk too much.
Gordon hadn't forgiven Thomas for waking him up from this nap. As soon as the last passenger had climbed on board, he started up so quickly that there was no time to uncouple Thomas.
Some runs I've already done that haven't been uploaded. There's cutscene skipping. It happened a little bit in the James missions that I did that have been uploaded, where you start driving just as the objective completes, and it carries over the input, so you start in the cutscene. But that's actually slower in this because it's quicker to just leave Thomas behind. The game doesn't fail you. Well, it does. It says failed objective, but it doesn't stop you from playing, and it gives you the next objective. I think it's an oversight on the devs for the objective markers, where if you derail, that's it. You get the menu, you can't continue. You can go in the photo mode, but then you don't get the next objective, which is what you need to finish the level and have the final cutscene play. But for certain objectives on certain levels, because it's not consistent as well between like the type of fail, if you leave the coaches behind, I've coined it in my notes as coachless. You just pass over the objective, you get failed objective, but it gives you the continuation of the level still, and you just finish as per usual. Obviously, Gordon with no coaches and no Thomas is a lot faster. So yeah. Sometimes it's quicker to keep the coaches, and if it's a really long cutscene, for example, to start driving in the cutscene, because you end up saving so much time than leaving the train behind. On some levels you just can't do it. On some levels you can't do either. Coming up later in the run, versus Troublesome Day 1, the really long cutscene where he waits for Bertie is in is in that level. But if you cutscene skip and drive throughout the whole cutscene, you drive past the cows, which sounds like a good thing, but until you prompt the change of objective to get you to stop in front of the cows, the signals after it won't change. So you end up soft locked. So you can't cutscene skip, which is frustrating.
Express coming
And if you try and
through.
fail and skip the cutscene for Bertie anyway,
Stop, please.
it soft locks you again, because you need to have that cutscene play. It's strange. It's really strange. Like I say, it works on some levels, it works on this one. It doesn't work on all of them. I'm playing a little bit safe. Normally I break on a 2-second head count after the 0.8 of the objective marker. I want to go for consistency so I can get the run done. So breaking a little bit early. I might have to balance the throttle a little bit to get there. One second at full throttle. Should be good enough. Oh my god, Gordon. Well, that's 10 seconds time loss due to Gordon being Gordon.
At a station. Well, little Thomas, chuckled Gordon. Now you know what hard work means, don't you? Thomas was
Yeah, we get a lot of
and he felt very silly
cutscenes like
and
this now.
exhausted. Poor Thomas puffed slowly away to rest and had a long, long drink. After that, he was careful to never be cheeky to Gordon again.
It's time to go fishing. Yeah, so it's not a massive time save. The run that I had for this, because the
Thomas
level's so
goes
simple,
fishing.
it wasn't that unoptimized when I first did it.
When
Because
Thomas
the
puffed
run
along
that
to
my splits are
France,
comparing to, the 3
he
hours
always
11,
looked
was
forward to something special.
I'd
The
completed the
sight of
game
the river.
casually, and I wanted to populate the board so that there was like an example run.
As he rumbled over the
So
bridge,
there's
he would see
multiple
people fishing.
fails, no
Thomas
strats, no
often
routing,
wanted
no
to stay
nothing.
and watch.
But for Thomas and Gordon, there's not really much in terms of
One day,
quote-unquote
Thomas stopped
routing.
as usual to take on water at the station by the river. Out
Basically
of
play the
order.
level. I optimized a
Papa,
tiny bit, like there
I'm
was about
thirsty. Never
10-ish
mind,
seconds of
Thomas,
time
said
saved
his
just
driver.
on
We'll
stopping
get
and
some
starting
water
in the
from the
right
river.
places.
They found a bucket and some rope and went to the bridge.
Now this is the best example of what I was calling coachless, and this was the level I found it out in actually. If you leave old Annie and Clarabelle there, Thomas up to speed. Normally you stop here and you have to get out, fill a bucket up, really long animation, over and over again. And this is the best example of what I mean with it continuing. It just skips that because it thinks that you failed the level. But I've still got the stop at location objective. Yeah. Now we just drive down the branch line with no train, just the engine. Makes these levels a tiny bit, well, as a speedrun, these segments are quite boring anyway, actually. Just driving in a straight line. I'm intrigued because this isn't on much of a hill, but for some reason, slowing down, it might be the curvature of the track, slowing down in this station is ridiculously easy. It's a trend throughout lots of different levels. Put the brakes on so much later for those. Just quickly scroll down my notes. Luckily, I don't need to alt tab for that. In fact, to lock this and get your cursor, you just right click if nobody's realised. Oh. The interesting thing about this level, with the coachless skip, is one of the objectives is specifically to uncouple Annie and Clarabelle, which confuses me because that would make me think that you would need to have them here to prompt the trigger, but the game isn't actually reading for you doing the uncoupling action, it's actually just reading for them not being attached to you. That's not good.
They stopped just outside the last station, uncoupled Annie and Clarabelle, and ran Thomas, who was still groaning, onto a siding right out of the way.
That's level done.
Then, while the guard telephoned for an engine inspector, the driver found a notice with large letters, which he hung on Thomas in front and behind. Danger, keep away. Soon, the inspector and Sir Topham Hatt arrived.
Fairly long cutscene for this one.
Cheer up, Thomas, they said. We'll soon put you right. The driver told them what had happened. So the feed pipe is blocked, said the inspector. I'll just look in the tanks. He climbed up and peered in. Then he came down. Excuse me, sir. Please look in the tank and tell me what you see. Certainly, Inspector, replied Sir Topham Hatt. He clambered up, looked in, and nearly fell off in surprise. Inspector, he whispered, can you see fish? Gracious goodness me, how did the fish get there, driver? We must have fished them from the river with our bucket, replied Thomas's driver. Well, Thomas, you and your driver have been fishing. But fish don't suit you. We must get them out. They all took turns fishing in Thomas's tank, while Sir Topham Hatt looked on and told them how to do it. Never mind, Thomas, said Sir Topham Hatt. You will be all right now. There's no need to worry yourself any more. But, he added, I do hope that you and your driver won't go fishing again, as I don't think it suits engines. Do you? No, sir, said Thomas sadly. Engines shouldn't go fishing. It's too uncomfortable.
A bit more time save.
Thomas and Bertie. One morning, Thomas was waiting at a junction when a red bus arrived. Hello, said Thomas. Who are you? I'm Bertie. Who are you? I'm Thomas. I run the branch line. So you're Thomas, eh? I remember now. You got stuck in the snow. I took your passengers and Terence the tractor pulled you out. I've come to help you with your passengers today. Help me, said Thomas. I can go faster than you. You can't, said Bertie. I can, huffed Thomas. I'll race you, said Bertie. Their drivers agreed to the race going ahead. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Come along, come along. We're coming along, we're coming along.
So, strangely, for this level, we play as default. It's strange how specifically in Thomas and Bertie you can't skip any of the objectives from my testing. So this is one of the vanilla but fast runs. Not much else to say for this. It's like the James levels are slightly interesting between objectives because there's a lot of places you could derail. Like it is actually a case of knowing the level quite well and focusing to make sure you don't derail at like the 3 points between each objective. For a lot of the base game levels, it is just go on full throttle, put the brakes on at this point, open door, go on full throttle, put the brake. Like that is what this level is for my notes. Load passenger. There is a slight bit of tech. It's
Please,
nothing
hurry.
crazy, but the
I
load
need to get
passengers
back up
bar is
to
actually
speed if
just a
we're going
loading
to beat
screen.
Bertie.
Well, not a loading screen, but they're like a loading segment. You can start driving before they're all in, and Thomas will get like 1 mile per hour while they're still loading, and then it'll tell you to lock the doors, and it'll perfectly time it. But the window's really small. It's like half a second, maybe. That's if you get it perfectly. On average, you're saving like a tenth. It's not worth trying to get perfect, I don't think, because if not, then you need to slow down. But by that point, Thomas would have built up enough speed. Like by the time you can tell, Thomas will be at 5-6, and you got to stop, open the doors again, load in the last bit, speed up again, and you lose so much time. I did this to scroll my notes back up because I have my PBs at the top. The two like bundled categories. I don't think I'm going to get Thomas percent PB here. I might do, but it is pretty close. There was a lot of time save on shunting showdown. Slightly early here. Don't want to risk overshooting too much. It's okay to overshoot a fair bit when you actually have a train. It's not as picky as in the Thomas and Gordon level. But it causes a tiny bit of a issue if you go too far because you have to load checkpoint. And I don't want to do that. My unuploaded Thomas percent PB is 3854, which is cutting it real close. May not seem it because of how long the cutscenes normally are, but the Thomas and Bertie ending cutscene is one of, if not the shortest ending cutscene in the game. So.
We've done it! We beat Bertie! Well done, Thomas, said Bertie. That was fun, but I think we should have another race to see if I can beat you next time.
Well, that's definitely a PB.
Percy's troublesome day. Percy had a busy day ahead and was trying his best not to be late. Mustn't be late today, he said to himself. Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me. Come on, Percy, said his fireman. Off we go.
So, this is an interesting level. At the point of routing this level, I knew about Coachless and I knew about Cutscene Skip. This is the level in which you basically can't do it. You can, can't. I found another slight different skip. So, it's not technically coachless, but I am prepping this. So, what I'm going to call this, and what I've coined it in my notes, is fail skip, where it's the same idea as coachless, where when you stop it says objective failed and skips to the next one. Apart from if it's regarding loading passengers, it skips loading the passengers too. However, at the next objective, you need the coaches or the game softlocks, and you can't continue. So I need to bring these coaches with me, even though I don't need them for this objective, because I need them for the next one. So I have to slow down and uncouple to fail the objective, and then recouple and set off with them afterwards. Which is where we finally get a tiny bit of like real speedrun-like tech, I suppose you could say. So because Percy's kinda terrible, he's slow and weak, he doesn't really build up much speed unless he's going down hills. It means you pretty much always break last minute into stations. Never have to worry about slowing him down too much. It's not Percy's fault he's so small, but... So there we go. So that skips the loading passengers segment here. Normally takes quite a while. We'll move on to the next station. As I mentioned in the previous level, we can't do anything to skip at this station because it's like a requirement. Can't cutscene skip because you drive past the cows. You can't objective fail because you softlock. You can't interact with it in any way. It's frustrating because I got rather optimistic when I found out cutscene skip, because if you could travel far enough, I thought, oh, you could get past the cows and then just go to the next objective. But yeah, the signals don't change. I sat there for like 3 minutes, which at that point I may as well just watch the cutscene and do the cows. I tried doing contact signaler and it just keeps saying failed. I think it's because the game perceives items on track as blocking all signals to and from the track. And because it's a single track line, I believe, it thinks that no signal should be green because of the cows. So even though you can skip the objective and like get past the fail barrier in the cutscene, because it doesn't fail you in the cutscene, which was interesting because in most other scenarios it would fail you in the cutscene. For this specific one, you can't, and you can't continue, and you can't go backwards either and use it to save time traveling and go back to the cows, because it won't prompt you to stop unless you're like in front of them, and you can't get in front of them without failing, because when you hit like the hitbox, I suppose, on the track, it fails you. It's a strange one. There's loads and loads and loads and loads of time to be saved if someone can work out how to get past the past this specific barrier. Because if you could cutscene skip here and get past the cows and continue, you would save roughly, from what I could work out, about 5 minutes. But instead, until that's found, we have to do this.
Percy arrived at Elsbridge Station and collected his passengers, but he had to wait for Bertie the bus.
It's also a tight window to cutscene skip on as well.
Where is Bertie?
And I've done it both with and
said
without the
Percy
coaches.
impatiently. He's going to make me late. Just then.
But this is a
he heard
really
a voice
long
calling
cutscene.
out.
Like, it's a short intro cutscene to this level, but then they lump this one in the middle, which
Wait.
normally would be good, because when there's a long cutscene in the middle of the
At
level,
last, Bertie
there's ways to play
sprinted
around
to
it
the
by driving
station.
off.
Where have you been? Asked Percy. I've been waiting ages for you. I thought you were supposed to be the fastest bus on Sodor. Some road repairs were being done, and I had to
It's a
wait
strange
for the
one.
workman to let me
It's
pass.
like finding an out-of-bounds
Explained
glitch in another
Bertie.
game and then realize that the developers
Well, now I'm going to be late.
thought about
Percy
it
huffed.
and pre-planned a box that you're not allowed to leave. Like, this
As soon as
specific
the
level
guard
has so
blew
many
his whistle,
fail-safes,
Percy
whereas
raced
the
away.
others, as you've
He
seen,
knew
like
he
in
had to make up for
Thomas
lost
Goes
time.
Fishing, you skip the really long cutscene and fishing segment, you skip every single passenger loading. Like, there's nothing stopping you throughout the whole level. Like, every single part's just cut out. But then 2 levels later, you have this, which is like somewhat ironclad. suppose Thomas and Bertie's a better example of that point, though. But you can't even fail skip passengers in that. If you try and fail skip it, just objective fails you completely and makes you restart. At least for this level, you can skip all but that one station. So, here comes the cows.
But then there was trouble. As Percy rounded the bend, he saw that some
You can risk
cows
this
were
a bit
blocking
more
the
than I'm
line.
going to, but I know if I overshoot it, it's quite bad, so I'm gonna make a little bit earlier. You can risk this a bit more because you can go all the way to the last carriage, but if you get slightly too close, you fail because it
Oh
sees as you
no,
hitting the
moaned
cows even though
Percy.
you're like
Now
still
I'm
20 yards
sure
away.
to be late. Please move out of the way, you silly cows.
Annoyingly enough as well, you can't, like there was a small window of movement that you could see there. You can't get out of Percy and run towards them because the objective is
Looks like we'll
specifically
have
for
to go and
getting
move
out
the
of
cows
Percy.
ourselves, said his fireman.
So you're stuck inside of him till this moment, and it lets you out. You also can't run out and purposefully move all these cows because I thought, oh, if I'm just not allowed out of Percy till... Oh, I ate my input. Thanks, game. That's like 5 seconds time loss.
At last, the cows had been
Explaining
moved,
that drive.
and Percy
So I
could
thought, oh, well, I can
return
get
to
out and move all the cows because they're already pre-moved, then come back, get in Percy,
Hooray,
get
said
out,
Percy.
because that would
We
save
can go
time.
now.
But then you soft lock because you need to click on a cow to finish the objective. So then you're stuck with all the cows moved and you can't interact with them. But the game won't let you drive, because if you drive you fail, because it still thinks the cows are there. It's really strange. Like on the Thomas Goes Fishing level, it seems to check if thing is in location. But then for this level, it's if thing has been interacted with. Normally in games you see it follow a consistent pattern, but I know it's a different mechanism because one's coaches, one's a unique entity, but I just thought it'd be quite consistent with it. But it's fine though. So this one, fail skip again, it's why I'm here. Make sure that the top thing's highlighted. Oh. So 2 more stops, one of which with a fail skip. Now I've not done individual level attempts for anything going forward. Like I've finished the Thomas percent ones, I'm happy with them. Although I did think that I beat 2 of them in this run, ironically enough. Or at least I definitely beat Shunting Showdown, but I think I beat that one by enough to where it like made up for time loss on the other 3. For these, I haven't done them yet. I'm going to do them after this run and use these as my, like, comparison times in a sense. For the old attempt on this, ending at 113 seems crazy. Just focus up a second. Break. Right now. It's earlier, probably slightly slower, but I just want to be sure that I'm good. Oh, that's the last fail skip. But that went 3 for 3 on those. Yeah, so like, this was what? 25 minutes? No, 35 minutes on this level. And this is on pace to be beaten, what? 16? I don't know exactly how long the cutscene is for this one. That's crazy time save. I'm saving like 20 minutes, I think, if my math's right.
Percy soon arrived at Farquhar Station. He saw that the station master was waiting for him. "I'm sorry we're late," said Percy. "There were cows on the line, and Bertie was late, and—" "It's all right, Percy," smiled the station master. "It looks like you're having one of those days. Anyway, you're only a few minutes late, and the delays weren't your fault, so we'll say no more about it. Now, I've had a phone call from Sir Topham Hatt, and he wants you to collect some trucks from the quarry." "Okay," puffed Percy. "We'll go right away. I just need to leave my coaches in the siding first."
Yeah, 20 minutes. What, 19? Crazy time save.
Percy's troublesome day.
This level shows most how they wanted to make Percy's Troublesome Day one mission and slightly longer. But it was quite a long mission. Because when you don't use the skips, it does get to about 25 minutes, 30 minutes casually.
Here.
But then adding
Green caterpillar with red stripes.
this introduction where he just silently rolls in,
Please do be quiet, Percy said
that I think
sternly.
was done to flesh
"I
it out.
don't
And
have
also just
time
this
for your
level in
tricks
itself.
today.
It's
We'll
really
show him
interesting.
some tricks."
And I think they intended for it to end in Farquhar. You see what I mean? But then it would have been too short. This level also really highlights how kind of bad Percy is. Again, no fault of his own. But because these are loaded trucks, they're like way too big for him. You know what's coming. Yeah, so normally the whole point of this level is trucks push Percy downhill. You have to not have him crash. Don't need to do that. That should be good. This is slightly downhill, which is why it's a bit of a problem to get this right. Just quickly. There we go. Yeah, so it's really hard to balance the throttle with the trucks, and then they slow you down in the remainder of the level, because as I was mentioning,
On, faster, faster.
double check. No, yeah, it's 47 I need to hover him at.
No, stop
So this is another level
pushing.
that has quite a lot of, I don't want to say skill, because I don't really think it's skill. I guess for this game it's as close as you can get, because this is one of the steepest hills in the game. You do gain a lot of speed, and you need to know roughly where to hold the brake to with the controls so that you don't derail. So we need to keep Percy around 47 for this. Break him down. 43 here. Just that slight kink that you saw really likes to throw him off, so you have to go a little bit slower for this corner. Full throttle afterwards. Three again. Back to balancing. 47, just being safe. Not done the most testing of this, so once we get to this point, however, I'll just break it to 47 there. So what I thought normally, now that the level's basically over, is I figured that this would be the ending point and you'd stop here, talk to Thomas, because that's why Thomas is there, I think. And Percy go, oh, my day's been horrible, Thomas. But then that would be too long of a level, so they split it into part 1, part 2. But then if they had him stop there still, that would be too short of a level, so then you're left with like 1.5 levels. So they make him drive the entire way to the docks from here. Which is where you save time on not having the trucks, because the trucks, although it makes that segment harder because you have to brake a lot more, it's possible. And if anything, they make you accelerate quicker because there's more weight on the train. However, when you get to that point, from that point onwards, once you get past Farquhar, you are going slower because Percy has to pull them. Which impacts his top speed slightly, but you still get to it, at least for the most part. However, at any point where there is any hill in any way, shape, or form, you are drastically slower because of how weak Percy is when it comes to his like pulling strength. So you make a lot more time up by just sitting here, with Percy on his own going full throttle down Thomas's branch line. However, it is a long drive, so yeah, I don't have much else to say. This is one of the most boring levels, while also being one of the best levels. It's this level has very little going for it after you get past Farquhar. Just making my notes all the way to the bottom now. Like it's somewhat frustrating because no other level does the oh you're going to crash type gimmick. So it's the first one that has like a risk element, I want to say. Like there's no on more of the others are like classic feel good Thomas stories where it's oh go help this person, oh go do your job. This one's one of the few that is like runaway trains crashes type thing. Um, which is cool, but then you're left with because even if you have the trucks, by the way, there's no gameplay difference. You're just slower, but you do still just hold full throttle the whole way till the end. Um, it's just why add this? Unless it is the thing I'm thinking of, where it's the the decision to split levels prompting it, it seems so silly to add this as a fundamental part of the level, where you just hold W for 5-10 minutes. Like, it's like doing express speedruns. Like, the express category is a bit silly in my opinion, because it is, at least at this point, now that we worked out the point routing and stuff, you hold W for 11 minutes and like 20 something seconds, press S for 5 seconds, half W, full W, press S at the end, stop, done. Like, the express percent category for me is quite dull. I grinded it because, you know, it's the only category that has a serious amount of runners. And if I'm going to speedrun the game, I may as well run all its categories. But just from my point of view as a runner, it's quite lame, really, because it's 16 minutes and it's 5 inputs. And when you break it down like that, basically an auto scroller. Like, you could cut out all of the run and have it be like a reaction test for the timings of the 3 inputs, because that's all it comes down to. Like, when you can make a speed run that condensed, I guess, is that simplified. Like, even for this level is mainly holding W, and that's the comparison that got me onto that tangent. But the other bit at the front's a lot of different managing of speeds and uncoupling, coupling at right times. It's roughly about the same time. Like, it's been 14 minutes so far. There's about 2 minutes left, so it's roughly the same time as the Express. But it's like, what, at least 100 plus inputs compared to 4/5. I don't know. I made those reservations clear in the YouTuber vs Speedrunner video that I did. It's cool Thomas got the traction it did in the like speedrun challenge community. I found that quite funny as a neutral bystander, but like, I like when speedrunning gets mainstream. Come on, Percy. I chose to balance throttle there rather than go for the dead stop,
in time. Sir Topham Hatt was
because
waiting
I
for
really
him.
didn't want to risk overshooting it
Well
and
done,
failing.
Percy. Right on time, he said. I've heard you've had
Failing
quite a
this deep
difficult
into a
day
run would be
today.
kind of
But you
heartbreaking.
got all your work done and once again proved what a really useful engine you are. Oh, thank you, sir, puffed Percy. As a reward for all your hard work, I'm sending you to the works for a shiny new coat of green paint. Percy beamed with pride.
But yeah, no. Anytime I see speedrunning get like
And the
mainstream traction, I
troublesome
get quite
trot.
excited because it's one of my biggest hobbies.
Maintenance is an important part of keeping a
I enjoy
railway
watching
running
content on
safely.
a lot. I know I don't do many
Tracks need
runs,
to
but
be
that's because I've
fixed
been quite
and
busy the last
points
few
must be
years with other
mended to ensure the
projects,
safety
primarily in
of people
esports.
and
But
engines. Early one morning, Sir Topham Hatt
I always
arrived
keep
at
watching
Clifford Shed
speedrun
to
content.
make an important announcement.
I just feel it was a bad example. I
Some
guess
maintenance work is
it got
being done on
mainstream
the
traction
section
in
of
a
the
game
main
that's
line
kind of a bit
between
of
Harlem
a
and Kelsthorpe Road. So I've
VR
decided
kids
it would
game.
be safer for all of you if we close that part of the line until the work is complete. This means that many of you will have to do different
How did I
things,
spend
so we
almost an
can keep
hour?
things
I
running
spent
smoothly.
55
But I'm
minutes? No.
sure you will all
45
manage.
minutes?
Thomas and
Yes?
Emily,
No?
please look after the passengers
Huh?
and make sure they can still reach
Yeah,
their
55,
destination
55
without
minutes.
confusion or delay.
In this level.
Yes, sir.
This has the least notes out of all my... What happened in my run I did
I
for
need
this?
you
Holy.
to run Thomas's branch line. Yes, sir, he replied. Then Sir Topham Hatt turned to Gordon. And I have an important job for you too, Gordon, he said. The workmen need some supplies delivered to the work site. So whilst the other engines are busy, I will need you to deliver them. But, sir, what about the express? Unfortunately, we've had to cancel all express trains whilst the work is being carried out. We can't have high-speed trains passing through an area that's being repaired. It's just not safe. Cancelled? But, sir, you can't cancel the express. It's the most important service on the island, and far more important than delivering some trucks. Now, Gordon, I know how much the express means to you, but it's far more important right now that we get the line repaired as soon as we can. You can go back to pulling the express once the work has been completed. Oh, if I must. And with that,
Long R
Topham
cutscene.
Hatt turned and headed off to attend to other things. What's Sir Topham Hatt thinking? Making me take dirty trucks from dirty sidings? He's just trying to make sure that the railway keeps running smoothly and that all of the passengers can reach their destinations on time, said Emily. We all need to make the most of this time while repairs are being carried out. And besides, Sir Topham Hatt has given you an important job. I thought an important engine like you would appreciate that.
I am gonna
Good
play this
springs are
level
just not
awkwardly
suitable
safe
for a
from my
grumpy
notes,
engine like me,
because there's a lot of
Gordon
ways
went on.
this one can go
It
wrong.
wouldn't be dignified.
And the time save on it going wrong's not actually
That's
that
enough, Gordon,
bad.
said his fireman.
It's like a couple of
Come on
seconds
now.
of throttle
The
management.
workmen are expecting these trucks to be delivered, and we don't want to delay things any further. Oh, all right. The sooner we get this job over with, the sooner I can be back pulling the express.
was going for safe strats, and it is kind of safe because it's a tiny bit. But on goal, that's kind of crazy, no? Yeah, can't skip the
Gordon was
cutscene.
still sulking when he arrived.
This is another one where I
at the dock.
juggled either skipping the cutscene or uncoupling the trucks. Going
The trucks
coachless in
eyed
this
him with interest.
helps.
What's this great blue galloping sausage doing in our yard? They shrieked. We want to
You
put
save
an
more
engine
time from
like
leaving them and
Edward or
going with
Edward.
just Gordon than you do setting off as Gordon.
Stop
Another
that,
slight
Bill
issue is if
Gordon.
you have to do
You've
like
got me today,
a
the
90%
fastest engine on Sodor,
cutscene start
and I'll have
where
no
you like
nonsense from you.
aren't full throttle, because if you're full throttle
We'll
you'll go
give
too
him
quick
nonsense.
out of the yard and you explode.
They
Like
chuckled to
Gordon just
each
flies
other.
into space. So
But Gordon didn't hear them.
here we are. We can, however, leave the trucks there. So bye trucks. Enjoy sitting in the siding. So that's the bit where you normally just like die. It's awkward because in the cutscenes you have to pre-prep your throttle because you can't change it once you're in the cutscene. Your controls get locked. So unlike in this, where you can go full throttle then brake and go, so you make the most of the top speed. Yep, and now we just sit as is till Gordon's Hill. Brake on point. 2 levels left. I'm happy with this run so far. This has been pretty good. Plenty of downtime. So this is quite clearly like guaranteed to be sub 3 hours, unless I colossally mess up like 17 times in a row. Because this level, which took 55 minutes in my previous, I don't know what happened. I'm guessing I crashed like 7 times. Oh, I remember. I overshot the ending, didn't I? I tried playing it way too close on the brakes because I didn't have any notes. And I kept overshooting the last bit, so I had to keep redoing the hill climb. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, this is going to save approximately 40 minutes. So I'm going to be an hour up. It's going to be sub 2 hours. Sub 2 hours would be cool. Okay. Coming up on the focus. The hardest part about running this game is keeping focused. It's not a test of like dexterity or inhuman levels of reactions. It is purely just, can you remain focused for long enough? I know in a lot of my practice I've been like watching TV, like Netflix and stuff on my other monitor. Okay.
Gordon soon arrived at the worksite,
That was a
and the
little
workmen
close.
were pleased to see him. Thank you for bringing these supplies,
Yeah,
Gordon,
mate,
said
no
the
problem.
workman.
Totally
Help you
brought those
finish off these
supplies.
repairs. You're most welcome, puffed Gordon proudly. And with that, Gordon headed back to the sheds to tell the other engines about his truck-filled day.
Yeah, 10 minutes. I was so far behind in this run, man.
Emily and the Express. Meanwhile, at Kelsthorpe, Emily was pulling a goods train and had to stop at a signal when the station master walked up. Gordon has broken down, he told her. Can you leave your trucks here, then go and find him and pull the express? Me, pull the express? Yes, sir, she said excitedly. And with that, Emily went off to uncouple her trucks before setting off to find Gordon.
This may be my least favorite level. It seems quite clear that this one was rushed as well. Also kind of boring. And it's one of the most complicated to run as well. This is a really awkward one. Should be fine. Yeah, now we drive. Emily's one of the, like... Although Percy is factually the weakest, but it's because of his size. He's like the weakest tank engine. I feel like Emily may be the worst engine. Because she weighs like it seems to be as much as Gordon does. I know it's probably not, but simulation-wise, she weighs absolutely tons, and her tender weighs tons. She just doesn't speed up or slow down. Like, her acceleration and deceleration's terrible. So in my practice for routing this, right, that reverse section, I did it the safe way there with the throttle balancing. But if you get that slightly wrong, because she's that heavy and doesn't slow down quick enough, normal trains, the trucks would like bounce back off of, and you won't immediately fail because the trucks will work like a buffer once they hit the buffers. With Emily, she weighs that much, she just derails all the trucks, and then you have to restart. And she's not that quick. Like, she's super heavy, doesn't get up to speed quick, doesn't slow down quick, and yet struggles to like break 80. It's factually correct, I suppose. And the kind of train she is, it's just annoying. It makes this level annoying because the start of it's really, really hard to get right. But like with other levels that seem, well, other level that seem to be rushed and botched, this is a lot of just driving in a straight line. I understand the purpose of these levels is to more just tell a story for kids to enjoy and to showcase, like, the map. It just feels very empty. Like, they could have had you stop at certain signals and wait for trains to pass and have other people driving around. On a few of them they do, like you drive past Thomas a couple of times, you drive past Emily in the James DLC. A lot of them just seem empty. Like, Gordon's broke down, like, so, but we should at least see somebody coming the other way, like. Okay, time to lock in again. Should be close enough. Strange one. This point doesn't change, or at least it doesn't seem to change in all my practice runs because of Gordon being there. And it sees it as like a... Yeah, see? You can just drive through it even though it's a red signal. Because something's on the line, it doesn't think you're allowed to go there, so the game will never update it, so you have to drive through that signal regardless. But it also means that if you fail, you then need to do the contact signal to reset that game state. Because the game won't change the signal, but after the first time you drove through it, like if I crashed into Gordon now and derailed, it won't reset that idea. Could be enough speed.
Hello, Gordon, peeped Emily. What's happened here? Are you being the best express in the world?
Not trying to rush this.
I am surprised. But we must get these passengers home.
They're not moving.
Gordon just
Yeah, not
looked
trying
at
to
his
rush
buses
that and go
and
really
didn't
quickly
say a word,
to set off again,
as
because you
Emily
need to make
waited
sure that those
patiently
coaches are
away.
stood perfectly still before you uncouple them,
Right then,
and
sit
after
down.
you've uncoupled them, they're still
Here we
still
go.
to do coachless here. Because, fun fact, if you don't, they roll through a signal and fail you in like 10 minutes time. And then you have to restart the whole level because you were already past the checkpoints. I'm waiting now though. Well, I lost focus and thought it was to objective when I needed to brake at that green signal. Well, may as well just send it. God damn it. tiny bit frustrated because I may have thrown this kind of goated run now. I may have also thrown sub 2 hours. So I may need to send another run after this. We'll see though. We'll see. Yeah, I'm quite frustrated now. I'm still gonna save time on my other run.
Emily arrived at the end of the line, and she'd made good time. Sir Topham Hatt was there to greet her. Well done, Emily.
Yeah, still save time,
How
but
do you feel pulling an express train again? It was great, sir, but it's certainly been a busy day. Well, you deserve a nice long rest in the sheds. Thank you, sir, beamed Emily with pride. Branching out. It was a busy time on the railway, and all of the engines were working hard, except poor Thomas. He was feeling unwell. You should go to the steamworks for a while, said Sir Topham Hatt. They'll have you fixed up and feeling better in no time. As Emily came and took Thomas away to be repaired, Sir Topham
last level.
Hatt wondered who else he could get to take
I don't think I'm
Thomas
saving
away.
11 minutes. Just
Suddenly, Diesel pulled into the yard.
roughly what I need to
train of
save.
trucks. Sir Topham Hatt looked at him and smiled. Ah, Diesel, just the engine I wanted to see. Diesel looked a little nervous. Sir Topham Hatt usually only wanted to see him if he was in trouble.
Good morning, sir,
Said Diesel nervously.
did you need me for something?
Yes, indeed I do, smiled Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas is not feeling well, and Emily is taking him to the steamworks to be repaired. So I need a really useful engine to help with taking the passengers on the branch line. Diesel was very surprised.
But, sir, he protested, I'm only a shunting engine. I've never really pulled passengers before.
Don't worry, Diesel, Sir Topham Hatt reassured him. I'm confident you'll manage just fine, and I'm sure that Annie and Clarabel will be glad to show you what to do. Just remember, you need to be on your best behaviour today. I don't want to hear from the passengers that you've been causing trouble.
But, sir, I can't take Annie and Clarabel. They're Thomas's coaches, and they don't like me, and...
Diesel, you'll be fine, smiled Sir Topham Hatt. Now run along and collect Annie and Clarabel. They should be waiting for you in the sidings.
Oh, why do I have to take passengers? Maybe, he thought, Sir Topham Hatt chose me because I am the best engine for the job.
Okay, here we go, last level.
Oh no, Clarabelle. It's that devious Diesel. Surely, replied Clarabelle, Sir Topham Hatt could have picked another engine instead of him. Perhaps he thinks I'm the best engine for the job, boasted Diesel. After all, he specifically asked me to help with the passengers while Thomas is away. I'm sure he only asked you to help as all the other engines are busy. He certainly did not. Now we need to get going. We don't want to be late after all. All aboard! We need to hurry and get moving. There's no need to rush, Diesel, said Annie. We still have plenty of time. Right, let's get going.
Now we
Remember,
coachless,
said
and this is
Clarabelle,
just
you need to pull away gently as to not startle
the same
the
as Thomas
passengers.
Goes Fishing. I'm just going to skip loading passengers because of fail skips, and then back to the end.
Diesel, you'll need to remember to slow down as you approach the station. You mustn't bump the coaches, especially if they have passengers on board.
Skip a nice little cutscene there. It's a very boring way to end this run. It's another slow trundle down Thomas's branch line. The more I go through this, the more I'm realizing that I probably did throw away sub 2 hours in the MLE and the Express split. Change that in my notes, I think. That definitely needs to be 140, not 130.
Diesel
Yeah.
soon reached Farquhar. The top
Locked in and
station,
focused all the way up
Thomas's
until
branch
Emily, and then
he
I didn't
thought
really care
rather
much about this. I get the
pleased with
feeling I'm
himself.
going to do another run.
Suddenly, he noticed Sir Topham Hatt walking towards him. I hope he's not here to tell me off, he thought. Maybe one of the passengers complained about me. But Sir Topham Hatt wasn't cross. He was smiling. Well done, Diesel, he said proudly. I've heard from some of your passengers that you did a good job today. Thank you, sir, said Diesel. But I did have some help. Thomas is still being repaired, so I'll need you to stay and help out for a few more days, explained Sir Topham Hatt. Do you mind? Not at all, sir, said Diesel happily. I'm sure that the three of us can run the branch line just fine. Annie and Clarabelle smiled. Perhaps they thought Diesel wasn't so devious after all.
Ah. Yeah. Somewhat happy, somewhat upset. I think sub 2 hours is definitely possible with this route, and I'd prefer to end it on that. It's alright.